Welcome to another edition of News with the Loon. I'm sorry for being so late. The weather, as we are going to find out, is a little bit horrendous out there. Today's date is July 30th, 2025. Summer is almost over. Over in 2 days. And let's get into weather, as I mentioned before. Let's see. Currently, the temperature is 88 degrees with a precipitation of 100%, meaning it's pouring outside, literally, with thunderstorms. The humidity is 57%, and the wind is 2 miles per hour, but we don't need the breeze because we got the rain to refresh us and bring the temperature down. Now, tomorrow is going to be a high of 83 degrees with 50% precipitation. Most likely it will be raining, hopefully no thunderstorms. 75% humidity, so it's going to be a bit muggy with winds at 11 miles per hour. Okay? Now, as we sticking with the weather right now, one moment. There we go. The AccuWeather has deemed Southern Queens is under a flood watch as of 2 p.m. It says starting 2 p.m. Tomorrow, Thursday, until 2 p.m. August 1st, Friday. So if you plan on traveling, if you plan on driving anywhere tomorrow, be advised and be mindful of high flood zones. We are also under, let's see, in about 10 minutes, the heat advisory will end. The air quality is still on as of 11 o'clock tonight. I'm sorry, 11 o'clock tonight. So let's get some local news, okay? Mayor Adams has officially put out a statement on veto of a city council decision in reference to the Bronx of chance at downstate gambling license. And I'm going to do something I usually don't do. I'm going to read this article verbatim because it was his statement that he placed in at nyc.gov. New York City Mayor Adams today released the following statement after vetoing the New York City Council's disapproval of the only application to build a casino in the Bronx, preventing the borough from competing for a downstate casino license. Okay? A casino in New York City would bring good-paying union jobs and an economic boost to the surrounding communities, which is why I have long advocated for a fair process with as many competitive bids as possible. In stark contrast, the City Council's disapproval of the Bally's Bronx bid deprives the Bronx of the ability to even compete for $4 billion private investment that would deliver 15,000 construction jobs, 4,000 permanent union jobs, and more than $625 million in community benefits, including millions in the funding for schools, parks, youth programs, nonprofits, and public safety if selected by the state. He goes on to say a few more items and points why he vetoed it. Now, your action for this is, if you're in the Bronx, speak to your local councilman, the people who represent your district. I do plan on having special segments for News with the Loon about certain districts and legislation that goes through. So this is the beginning of that. If you wish to read on about the official statement that the mayor has put out there, go ahead, put the link in the chat for you. And if you don't know who your local city councilman is or councilwoman is, go ahead and go to nyc.gov, look up your area, and you will be able to find out who they are. In other local news, we have JCPenney has sold multiple stores in the metropolitan area due to them filing for bankruptcy. They have sold a total of 119 stores. The stores, an affiliate of Boston-based private equity firm Onyx Partners Ltd. acquired all 119 properties, according to Copper Properties CTL Pass-Through Trust. Okay, and the transaction should be closed by September 8th. So what this means for those of you who love JCPenney's, and this is more of the older crowd, the stores locations that were sold are in the Brooklyn, at Gateway Shopping Center in Brooklyn, Staten Island Mall at Plaza in the Bronx. The other locations, which are in New Jersey, was sold at Rockaway Town Square in Rockaway, Woodbridge Center, Newport Center in Jersey City, and Freeport Raceway. There are other stores in other countries, and in other counties, other states, that were sold as well. And within this particular article, which was put together by Fox News, you could go, if you are a big JCPenney fan, and if my mother's watching, I know, probably going to look this up. I'll put the link in so you could find out exactly where you could find these locations. These places are closing later on. There's a list of places that will closing on later on. Okay. JCPenney's did file for bankruptcy back in May of 2020 during the pandemic, which it seems like they fell just like many other stores and restaurants did fall during this pandemic. So if you're a fan of JCPenney's, that is the future of those stores. And it's still up in the air, these stores, because it is not clear what happened to those, and if they will be refurbished under a different name or a different brand. For those of you who like to go out and about and like to go hiking, I have several friends that like hiking. I used to go hiking before I got sick, before my back kicked in. If you are going out, please be aware, in the Northeast, there has been a spike of tick bites and ER visits, okay? This is courtesy of Fox News as well. And for this one, we are going to go ahead and take a look.
The tick population is exploding this summer, and it's not just in the burbs, but the 5 boroughs as well.
Fox 6 Kendall Green is live in Prospect Park with this new warning tonight. Hey, Kendall.
Hi, good evening, Steve Natasha. The Florida Tick Index, it monitors how likely it is for us to encounter ticks when we're outside, and on the scale from 1 to 10, it's at a 10, and it's peaking right now. So what does that mean? It means you precaution and be careful and take precautions if you're hiking. Activities in the woods, population is booming. And the warning, just for the suburbs, you've got around the 5 as well. Now, XA that if you're out and about in the wooded areas, Brooklyn, risk. Now, reasons it's important as 25 to 30% that cause Lyme disease, the most significant tick-borne illness nationwide, causing symptoms like headaches, achiness, and fever. The most recognizable symptom of this disease is a rash referred to as bullseye rash, starting at the spot of a tick bite, and it grows over the course of a week or so. So how can you protect yourself during this peak season? Professor Thomas Daniel from Fordham University has the answer.
Wear as much clothing as you can. Long pants are helpful because they keep the tick on the outside of your, off of your skin. If you're going to wear long pants, tuck them into your socks. This is the time of year when we ask people just to make sure that they're really particularly attention to their exposure. They get back indoors, you check yourself for ticks, pull them off as possible.
He added tick index is a 10. It's best to just avoid that hike outside and stay indoors if you can. But that's latest here at Prospect Park, Brooklyn. Great.
You have to be so careful. Those symptoms are very helpful.
Today, all right.
Okay, so if you are walking in the park, that is precaution for you to wear of what you're wearing. I know it's hot. People like the booty shorts. You like your legs sticking out. But now this is the problem that out there when it comes to all right, now what we're going to do now
Doctors at the Stony Brook Heart Institute have a powerful new tool to detect heart disease.
All right, I do apologize that I had some technical difficulties. Give me one moment. We had a few technical difficulties going on there. I do apologize. The weather is causing havoc. So we're going to go right into some local flood watch that is in effect right now. We're going to run over to, this is specifically for Suffolk County. Here we go. All right. As until Thursday at 2 p.m. from as of 2:40 p.m. today, and this warning is valid from 2 p.m. Thursday until 2 p.m. Fridays for Suffolk County. There has been a national weather service advisory for flooding caused by excessive rainfall. So Suffolk County, I mean, we're expecting rainfall here in the tri-state area, but Suffolk and coastal areas, please be aware of possible flash flood warnings. And you guys know where you are. Be mindful of the roads that flood a lot. If you are driving, if you are going somewhere, be aware that you may be driving somewhere that you will have flash floods without warning. I know Montauk Highway, Merrick Road, Long Island Expressway issue. So just be mindful of the area, be mindful of what could be happening in your area. Stay alert, stay alive. It would be an inconvenience, but it would be better to try to find a road that is less likely for flooding. Also in the Suffolk area, there is Huntington, the township of Huntington. Uh, the Suffolk town is addressing a major infestation of rats. Okay, this is reported by the Patch. Those of you who are out there are familiar with this publication, and is take a look and see what the town is trying to do to exterminate this infestation and try to resolve this infestation of rats that has the rodent problem that has been centered in the vicinity of West Carver Street and New York Avenue. They are going through and trying to eliminate the rodent population, which means putting out possibly deterrents, putting out traps. For those of you who like to walk your dogs basically, or you like to leave your cats, keep in mind and speak to check out the publication that the supervisor Ed Smith puts out. uh, he's encouraging property owners engaged in professional extermination who have been at the properties on a daily basis, and they will continue to try to do what they can to resolve this issue. I haven't been to Huntington in a while, so I'm not sure how bad this situation is, but they do have a 5-point plan. They want to monitor the placement and storage of commercial and residential property uh, to see what's going on there. The storage of trash, that is key to avoid this situation. They are saying locations that do not comply to the guidelines referred to by the Suffolk County Department of Health Services and violations are not rectified within 24 hours will receive a summons. Okay. Check the local website to see what they are putting in place to help resolve this issue and make Huntington a healthier place to live. Next, unfortunately, we have a not so story of a 75-year-old woman due to a car accident. She is, I believe, in critical condition. Like I said, internet is not acting correctly due to the weather. This is 12 report, and what we're going to do right now is we're going to see what has occurred in reference to this issue. Issues right now. So if you could just bear with me for just a few moments. It seems to be resolved. We're going to go to news. I do apologize for the delay. If we could do this. All right, we're having a few technical difficulties. For this, I do apologize. The weather is bad today. So what we're going to do is try to get this video up and running for you.
Oh, we've just learned one previously hurt in a fiery crash in Dix Hills. Take a look here. Police say two cars collided on the South Service Road of the LIE just before noon today. A lot going on there. A few other details have been released. Detectives are now asking anyone who saw the crash to give them a call.
Okay, that's all we have right now when it comes to this particular incident. Like a 79-year-old woman is in the hospital. Her condition is not degree of her injury is not known currently at this time. Uh, as the reporter says, if you are aware or you were a witness to this accident, which was on the LIE, I do believe. Don't quote me on that. To please let police officers know and reach out to the police department to assist them with their investigation. We're going to leave Suffolk County now, and we're going to try to go on the national platform once we get this going. And we're going to talk about what has been in the news if you are watching the news. Um, I do apologize for that. It seems like there is an issue going on with the wireless, but we're going to continue on. Hopefully, when I edit this, it will be much better. So, as most of you are aware of, there has been a 8.8 earthquake that hit the eastern part of Russia last night, Eastern Standard Time last night. Okay, due to this, the Pacific, which includes Japan, the Philippines, and Hawaii, as well as the entire east coast of the United States, Canada, Alaska, and South America, has been affected due to tsunami warnings. This is the sixth largest earthquake in the history of the world, actually. Now, this earthquake has caused unprecedented alert last night. Hawaii caused all islands, not just one or two, all islands of Hawaii was caused to evacuate. Now, this earthquake has caused more, and I'm going to get into this later on in this broadcast, has caused more problems than. Before I get into that, let's talk about the Federal Reserve, which is holding the benchmark rate currently as it is, despite President Trump's success with the tariffs. The Federal Reserve is not bringing down the interest rate, which is causing a lot of problems right now, not just for the United States as a whole, like on the federal level, but it's causing problems on an individual level. The decision to hold the rate steady marks a continuation of the Fed's wait and see strategy this year, which is exactly what they're doing. Many are not happy with this decision. Many are suffering due to this decision. But according to CBS News, two voting federal Open Market Committee members voted to lower the central bank's short rate term. But it seems like they were overruled and the rate is staying the same way. Something that has been a battling issue within the Trump administration with the Federal Reserve. And right now, we, unfortunately, as individual Americans, are stuck at a wait and see place. For my buddy check, I will get in a little bit of depth in depth with this in August 22nd, because a few things did develop this today, from President Trump. On that note, we're going to go right into the tsunamis in Hawaii. So, although they have removed the tsunami alert and the evacuation alerts has been lifted as of 8:32 p.m. today. But there is still a warning on the coastal fronts in Hawaii. So Hawaii see a little bit of water. It was not as bad as had predicted. The evacuations were effective for Hawaii. There's still a hazard for swimmers and boaters. So just so you know, there are still powerful waves out there and there's still a very strong current. So if you are vacationing in Hawaii, if you are planning to go to Hawaii, just be aware that as of now, in the last 24 hours, Hawaii is not completely the out of the woods. Now, on the run, Japan was hit with tsunamis as high as 1 meter. Now, 1 meter, we deal with miles. So I'm just going to do really quick. I'm going to do a quick calculation of a meter converted to miles. So it's just under a mile. So they did, luckily, they were not completely by as bad as they expected. They were expecting far more of a damage. Now, I have not seen any real damage out of there. I cannot confirm any footage, but according to the Japanese Wire, we do have a video of some of the surges that has come into Hawaii due to this. I'm going to put this on mute because this is in Japanese, so there is no interpretation. This is the damage from Japan as from the Japanese news. If we move on into lower below the equator, due to the tsunami, the Easter and Galapagos Islands were evacuated their coastal as of tsunami warnings. From my understanding so far, those have been revoked. The places that were under warning included Chile, Ecuador, Peru, Colombia, Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu. If I mispronounce those, please forgive me. This shows how big this particular earthquake was, which actually we should have got a warning a couple of weeks ago when Alaska had their earthquake. Keep in mind, this is within the Ring of Fire. Those of us who are as old as I am, we are aware of the Ring of Fire. We do know, we are familiar when the Ring of Fire starts acting up. There's earthquakes and there is volcanic eruptions, which brings me to this article, which leads me to this article from News, which has confirmed eruption of a volcano within Russia after this earthquake. The damages, how much damage this is causing is not completely known. This is one of those things I probably will do a specific recap on the weekend on how powerful this earthquake was and what it has done. Lava is spewing, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce this volcano, which is within. So the platelets are moving in the world right now. Now, I do apologize for the glitches I had, and on a little bit longer than expected. But what I'd like to do is always leave you with something positive when it's to these news, because unfortunately news is not always, how can I say, very happy and very joyful, but we have words of wisdom here, and what I do is leave you with these words of wisdom. Please take this to heart.
It took me nearly 30 years to understand what I'm about to tell you. You will never reach a point where everything in your life feels perfect and sorted. You sort of fix one thing and then something else comes up. You sort out your health and then maybe work gets hard. You solve a work problem and there's a family issue. So what I'm saying is there will always be something to deal with. The secret of being happy isn't waiting for life to be smooth. It's finding joy while the challenges are happening. So if you keep telling yourself, when this, then I'll be happy, you'll be waiting forever. Because there's always a new challenge. Please don't let everyday struggle take over your life. Because one day you'll look back and realise you spent years just fighting battles. This mindset shift has truly changed everything for me.